Hello and welcome to my bullet journal 2021 setup. I'm using the Dingbatz Earth bullet journal in the color blue, and I'm starting with my color key. I introduced that last year to my bullet journal. I really like it. It makes the spreads look way more colorful, and it also helps me with organizing. Currently I'm using 6 different colors and they are the same as last year. Also, the Dingbatz journal has 100 milligrams paper. That is enough for me. I'm not the one who does like much artwork. And yeah, my key is always the same. I'm using boxes for the to-dos, and I also have a little birthday present for the birthday. Here's a close-up look of my keys. That's also what I really like about Dingbatz, that they have like pages in the beginning for your keys. That's also really good for beginners. And yeah, here I'm doing my future log. Dingbatz also has 2 pages for that. It says future log in the corner, so that's why I didn't rotate. And I'm using these sticks that my mom got me in an advent calendar, and they are really cute. This year I'm doing a vertical future log instead of a horizontal one like last year. I'm still trying to figure out my perfect future log spread, and yeah, now I'm on to making the little calendars. I actually got like a little pocket calendar next to me so that I definitely get the dates right. And this time I only screwed up once and wrote twice the number 18. And yeah, so this year I wanted to do more black and white contrasts because I have finally my white gel pens, and I also want to do more with paper, and that will be mostly my theme for this year's setup. So we'll see that on the upcoming pages. Also, most of the products I'm using will be linked down below in the description. I'm trying to find them all again, but for the washi tapes, sadly, I won't find them anymore. I will try and link similar ones. I also did exactly the same for the next page for the future log to have all 12 months, but I cut that out. It is a very simple spread, but most of my spreads are very minimalistic. On the next page I'm doing my grid spacing cheat sheet. I guess most of you know what it is, so it's basically just like counting out the spaces and stuff, so it's easier for you later to do the spreads. In my last bullet journal I had it on the last page, and that was not the most convenient thing, so now I'm doing it like on the first page and also on the left side for easier access. I'm adding a little header on the right side which just says grid spacing cheat sheet, with also a little banner because they add much more detail to your heading. So on the right side of the page, I'm gonna do my title page for 2021. I'm already using my grid spacing cheat sheet for finding the middle on that page, because my title page actually didn't know what to do, so I left it blank. The other spreads you will see all have pencil lines already, and the title page not, because I really was not sure what to do. And so it's going to be a very minimalistic spread, and as I mentioned before, I'm going to use paper more this year, and here it is already. And then I just drew a gray outline to make it look like a picture frame or like more defined. And now I'm adding the 2021 in a white gel pen in the middle, and there will also be a few little dots around it, and I also use a little bit of washi tape on it and a black outline to make it look like it's patched on it. It is definitely very minimalistic, but I really like the spread. It just makes like a humble start for 2021. And yeah, also in this video sometimes my bullet journal is out of frame because it was my first time filming, so yeah. So it's like I don't really know where exactly the camera angle is, and I also filmed it with my phone, which makes it a bit weird to look at, well, because it's obviously faster than I did it, so my camera on the phone doesn't have as many frames as like another camera, so that's why it doesn't look as clean. And here I'm adding a little bit of shadow to the header because I forgot that before. And yeah, here you can see I did a little bit of pencil outlines beforehand, and I will do my goal spread now. I didn't do a resolution spread because for me goals and resolutions are kind of the same, so I was like, I don't need another spread. And I have 4 sections for my goals: personal, health, books and others. And I will fill that out later, and yeah. So for the little sections I used some paper again. This time it also has a few things on it, and they are actually recycled from my advent calendar this year, so that I don't have to throw everything away. On the right hand side I have a quote, and it's "What's coming is better than what's gone." And I think we can all agree and hopefully hope that next year will be better than last year or this year. And yeah, so I thought this quote was very fitting, and I'm glad that I did a sketch beforehand, because the sketch took long, and actually the drawing now is shorter than the sketch, which is nice. And I kept this quote also very simple, just in black and a dark gray. And actually for the coming and the gone, where the gray is now, I contemplated whether to do it black or dark gray. And I'm quite happy that I choose the dark gray, because it does add a little bit more depth and interestingness to it. And yeah, this pause is just me thinking whether I should go for dark gray or black. I'm also using a tissue to get the leftover ink, I guess, away. And that is actually not because the pages are thin, because like most people obviously use 120 grams, or 180 even, but I started with only 80 grams, and that was very and also it bled through a lot. I chose 100 grams one, but actually it most of the time obviously isn't bleeding through, and that's really nice. But I'm still using a tissue because it definitely looks better in the end if you don't have like the end tip of the ink, because that is always more than throughout. I also added the white highlights on the two words, and also then did a bit of cleaning, like to make it even cleaner. And yeah, here's a close-up, and I decided to add little circles and bubbles, to make it look more interesting. The next page is going to be a self-care bingo. I actually got that idea from Pinterest and then did one myself. I have a 4x4, so 16 tasks. But I'm not doing it like being over, like coloring them in. It's just a reference for me when I'm feeling down or anything, or just want to treat myself, to go back to the spread and see all the things that I think are self-care. And it's basically really simple. You just add a little table and then fill it in with little doodles. So mine are actually eat a fruit, stretching, face mask, go for a walk, make a tea, read a book, work out, bake, play a game, take a bath, light a candle, call a friend, listen to music, binge a show, dance, and eat my favorite food. Here you can see the little doodles, and I will also color them in later. And the first half of the year, actually, my spreads are not gonna be like really colorful or anything, because currently I don't have that many pens, colorful pens. The ones I have currently are mild liners and a few more I took with me, because I'm currently in Britain doing an exchange year, so I don't have all my pencils and pens here. So that's why I wanted to work more with paper, because it's way easier to get, and also you don't have to take it back home with you. On the right hand side, I did a period tracker. It's been a while since I actually did that, like for the last 2 years or so. I just didn't do it, which is not the best idea, because you should keep watching after yourself to see any irregularities, and maybe it could be with your health. So this year I decided to do one in my bullet journal. I know there are apps for it, but I like it this way better, because I can really customize it to myself. So I'm just drawing like a little yearly overview for all the month and all the days of the month. And on the right hand side there will be the key. It will be on paper again, and I will write it with a white gel pen. And actually, I don't know why, but half of the footage while I'm doing my key is just gone, so it jumps to the next part of the video, which was kind of like annoying. So yeah, I have obviously how my menstruation is, and also if I have headaches, cramps or something like that, so I can put that in as well, and also if I took painkillers or not. in the top right corner I also added a little rose because it looked kind of empty. Yeah, that was the footage, it was just gone. And I also added a red highlight as well to the header. On the next page is another quote, and here you see that it just stopped working my camera in between and then started again because there is already a few things filled in this quote, and the quote is called "A fresh start isn't a new place, it's a new mindset." I really like that idea to say like, oh yeah, every day you can do a fresh start if you want to, because you don't have to move to a new place, you just have to be a new person, I guess, or you're a better person. And yeah, that's really nice and inspiring. So I also kept this one pretty simple. It's also in dark gray, black and white actually, because I also love doing the little banners in black and then adding with white the font in. By the way, all of the quotes I also found on Pinterest, so yeah, I don't know who wrote them, but they definitely knew what they were doing. The big letters at the bottom, I also added white highlights. The right hand side spread is really simple. It's just a few papers cut out and then glued on it, and it says for one of them gift ideas and for the other wish list, because everyone knows the struggle of not knowing what a person wants for their birthday, for Christmas or other holidays. And the bottom one is just for me, so when people ask me what I want, I actually have an answer to that as well. I really like this idea and I will definitely do that in the future as well in my upcoming bullet journals. And I added a bit of washi tape to the sides and I wrote it in the white gel pen again. Also, you can see through a little bit of stars on the bottom one and the tree in the top one, because as I said, it was from my advent calendar and I just used the inside of the back. The next spread is actually the last one for this year's yearly setup, and it is my 100 things I want to do list. This is basically a list that are the 100 things I want to do in my life, and they are like big ones, and I'm actually only at 97, and I debated if I want to just cut out the one from last year and put it in this year's one, because obviously it's like writing, a lot of writing, and I decided not to because the other one was only one page and I actually wanted to do a 2-page one this year to make it look nicer and cleaner. So I decided to go with paper again, added that to the corners to make it a bit more interesting, and just wrote 100 things I want to do on the paper. And because I didn't like lay it out before, I actually wrote the things in the top left a little bit weird. So the are a little bit cramped because there wasn't enough space, but it actually looks quite good looking at it now. I didn't fill it in on camera because it would have taken way too long, because alone the setup took me like 2 or 3 hours, I'm not sure. Obviously I did breaks in between, I had lunch and so on, but still it took quite a while, but I love how it's looking. And here is a quick flip through, and thank you for watching this video. Consider subscribing and maybe also liking the video, and see you next time as well. So I try to upload once a week, but I don't know when school starts again how busy I will be. But the next video is going to be the January setup, and it obviously will be late because it will be uploaded in the first 2 days of January. But yeah, maybe you took some inspiration from this video and use it for your own bullet journal, who knows? Or maybe I inspired you to start one, that would also be very nice. So have a nice day.